This is my Unit 4 Assignment 3 Merit 2 task. So one of my first points is ethical. So John Lewis has many ways which they have contributed. One of these ways are the normal procedures that they need to follow up, as well as standard procedures that the business sets and expects to happen. So one of the advantages that John Lewis would have is that the consumer would learn to trust them ethically. John Lewis has removed all gender labels off their clothing. This makes them appear more of a gender-neutral company, as well as making their clothing all unisex towards customers. The disadvantage would be that they might find it hard to keep up with the set standards, and if an employee possibly sets false or negative information about the business, it could have worsened their image. My second point is legal. John Lewis is affected by the legal aspect, as if they would, under the law of course, be forced to follow these acts that the state sets. If they don't, then it would be under a penalty and could receive a large consequence, as well as worsen their image. Their image being their brand image. This is an advantage though, because some of the acts prevents John Lewis from releasing confidential information, which is being leaked to the public eye. Although the disadvantage would be that they would have penalties. For example, John Lewis in 2017 has been reported for not meeting the minimum wage, and so they received a penalty and a large consequence because of that. My last point being organizational. An organizational policy is set to follow principles, rules, and guidelines that the organization adopts in order to reach a long-term goal. An advantage for John Lewis when it comes to organizational policies is them being able to maintain compliance. Organization policies have allowed them to maintain a degree of accountability in the eyes of internal and external stakeholders. John Lewis's owners also have to manage the staff, as well as record and follow policies and procedures. As a disadvantage, John Lewis has a dress code. When it comes to working with a dress code, it could have a disadvantage on the company, since all employees must have smart business clothing. And so when the customer attempts to communicate with them in the store, the customer may feel a bit intimidated rather than confident and relaxed. And that's the end of my slideshow.